The Lone Star Conference in the WPSL hangs in the balance at Palmer Field tonight as Austin Rise look to secure a three-peat. Standing in their way is stingy Fort Worth Vaqueras side looking to finish their league campaign strong and break hearts on the road. A win or a draw gets it done for Austin Rise, and it's coming up live. Hello once again, everybody, and welcome. Happy 4th of July weekend to you all. Welcome to steamy Central Texas. My name is Rob Jaskula, joined by my broadcast colleague David Roy. And David, it doesn't get bigger than this, but the Rise control their own destiny.
Well, and you said it. Control their own destiny is right. And you take a look at the standings right now, and currently coming into tonight, you're sitting in second place right here between FC Dallas and the team behind you right here, Fort Worth Vaqueras, coming into tonight to take on Austin Rise. And so it sets the stage, right? We talked about it pregame. Winner take all, right? You know, you control your own destiny. Win or draw, you claim the conference title, you get out in front, you get a playoff spot. Lose, and things turn over not in your favor to FC Dallas. A
possibility we hadn't even been considering. I spent some quality time this afternoon running through the permutations with Rise co-owner Bethany Kurtmas Duval, and we think we have it right, but it is FC Dallas women who have played all 8 of their league matches. They sit on 18 points. Rise have played 7, along with Fort Worth Vaqueras. This will round out their conference campaign. And it is just a point to get it done because the tiebreaker in the WPSL is head-to-head matchups, not goal differential. So by virtue of the win in Dallas and the draw here 2 weeks ago, that would see Rise through if they should just get a point here tonight. But they are, of course, looking for all 3. On the 16th of May, Kylie Snell's low strike from the edge of the box gave Rise a 1-0 win on the road. This Vaqueras side, though, very stingy. They've only given up 8 goals all season. That is joint second best in the Lone Star Conference of the WPSL. Only Austin Rise have been stingier, and that is going to be a key tonight. If you keep a clean sheet, you win the conference no matter what.
That's the important part, is keep a clean sheet. And one of the things we've seen over the last couple weeks is Austin Rise has struggled with that. We saw our first game here, got a win, decisive win. After that, ever since then, it's been a little downhill for Austin Rise. And, you know, they went on the road, seemed to get things back under themselves. But outside of that, the last 2 games we were here, a draw and a loss, it just really has been a little out of sync for Austin Rise. Couple different instances of miscommunication, couple of different times where it just felt like the attack wasn't quite in sync. The back end wasn't quite complementing your front end. They need all of it to come back together the way they started the season here tonight to secure that conference title.
Rise got a big 3-0 win on the road last weekend to put them in this position, in the driver's seat to win the Lone Star Conference. But you're right, David. The 3 matches we've seen here, we have yet to see Rise keep a clean sheet here at home, but it's a strong starting 11 for manager Michael Bates. Liesl Tetmeyer, the USA Youth International, starts in goal. The back 4 is Ryan Jurgovich. The center half pairing of Lauren Westwood and Cambry Patrick continues. Gabby Crishone gets the nod at left back. Rise are without the Honduras international Emily Chicas tonight. In midfield, we have it listed as a 4-3-3. 2 holding midfielders, Kara Harris and Millie Elwood, with Savannah Shutt, the goal scorer 2 weeks ago against FC Dallas, starting in the cam, and the front 3 of Gianna Camuso, Maya Ramirez on either side of the United States Marine, Katie Gernsbacher. For Fort Worth Vaqueras and their manager, Sergio Berna, only 3 on the bench for them tonight, but they start off with a strong 11, and that includes the fine Colorado State goalkeeper Addison Huber, back 4 of Casey Storer, Alessandra Maldonado, Brooklyn Westfall, and Bella Larson, who is one of their top players. We have it listed as well as a 4-3-3, the midfield 3 of Piper Garcia, Kelsey Pujol, and Sierra Padilla, with Sharika Virtue playing just ahead of them in the 10. And then the pair up top of Logan Holloway and Genevieve Dorasami. And David, it's been hot. It's been humid. Only 3 on the bench for Vaqueras tonight. That could be a big factor.
Well, it's been a factor every time we talk about it, and every time we look at it, it has been such a critical factor. The depth, as it gets hot, as it gets humid, the weather has continued to play a role. Now, so far, little humid, mostly hot. We'll see how long that continues to play a role here tonight.
Yeah, strong bench this evening for Michael Bates and Rise. 8 outfield players plus Peyton Urban on the bench, and some new faces as well, which we will get to once we are back for kickoff following the playing of the national anthem. Welcome back to Palmer Field, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Jaskula, David Roy on the call for you this evening. Our Vipe Live crew, happy that you're spending part of your Thursday evening with us. Joined on cameras this evening, Merle Bertrand, Holden Hudson, and, of course, in the studio, the incomparable Suna Venkat, making it all happen for you. And we also expect to hear from Austin Rise's Emily May, our field-level reporter and hostess. Referee this evening is Stephanie McFarland in the center circle. She and her squad will wear blue kits with black shorts, black socks. Fort Worth Vaqueras on the road in their yellows, trimmed in navy. A very strong look for them. Their keeper kit for Addison Huber, well, is a real hodgepodge. She has a green shirt, black shorts, blue socks. Meanwhile, for Rise, a bit of a change kit this evening as they'll wear red at home, trimmed in white with navy shorts, navy socks. And it looks as though Liesl Tetmeyer and Peyton Urban will be in purple from head to toe. A bit windy this evening. There is some rain in the forecast. We're hoping it stays away, though. But it is nice and warm for this July contest on the turf here at the St. David's Performance Center, Palmer Field, home of the 2023 MLS Next Pro champions, Austin FC 2. And I was down there on the surface. It's in great shape as always, but artificial turf does play hot.
Well, and it's why the FIFA World Cup, or at least part of it right now, is on grass. They returfed all the NFL stadiums to play it on grass, much to, the controversy of the NFL as a whole. We won't get into that too much. What we will get into, part of the change in kit, you got to think, kind of change the psyche a little bit of what it's been like here at home. The normal kits we've seen, it's led to a loss and a draw their last couple times out here at Palmer Field. We'll see if that changes things here this evening. You talk about it's warm, but that breeze doesn't make it quite feel as warm, although I don't know that, the ladies on the field will necessarily notice the breeze quite as much as when they're sprinting to one end or the other of this one. And keep in mind, we haven't really touched on this. We've talked about the importance of, a win here or a draw secures the conference title. Well, the reason it does that, it's the last conference game of the season. There's only an exhibition game left, and that doesn't take place until the first part of August. So this is it, essentially, for both squads.
For league competition, yes, this is the finale, and the finale here at home in the league. But, folks, if you are still kicking yourself about maybe not getting out to a match this year, August 8th, that's my birthday. Be sure to come out, 7 p.m., Atletico Dallas. Come for a visit. But here in the Lone Star Conference, it's all to play for Austin Rise. Liesl Tetmeyer's do our right, head to toe in purple. Rise will attack right to left in the first half. Addison Huber is to our left. Fort Worth Vaqueras are left to right. Again, Rise took the match in Fort Worth on the 16th of May. A 1-0 win. Kylie Snell's strike from outside the box was enough. Rise will kick us off this evening. We have 90 minutes of action ahead of us. Glad you're with us here in Austin. And a great crowd on hand as well, but no band, unfortunately, for us this
No.
evening by the looks of it.
They came out for the open. I guess that's all that they needed to do. Maybe that's it. Maybe, we haven't had as much success without the band either. We talked about reasons why things haven't quite gone the way of Austin Rise the last couple times they've been out here at Palmer Field. Maybe it's the band.
On left wing, here's Maya Ramirez. I know I'm missing out on the band. Looking to attack straight away from kickoff. Feeding it forward. She was looking for Savannah Shutt. It fell to Kara Harris, though, and Rise with good possession here in the opening minute. Gianna Camuso looking to spin away from a challenge. It bounces clear into midfield, and Fort Worth getting on the ball for the first time this evening with Bella Larson. And right in front of our broadcast position, Westfall loses out to Kara Harris. And she'll go all the way back home to Lauren Westwood, the native of Farnborough, England. And Rise trying to play through the lines, but it only went as far as Piper Garcia, who feeds it back to their keeper, Huber. Just underway here in Northeast Austin. Glad you're with us on this beautiful Thursday evening, starting our 4th of July weekend in style. Maya Ramirez gets onto a loose ball in midfield right in front of our broadcast position. And Rise looking to attack. Here's Shutt with space to turn. Finds Gernsbacher, back to Shutt. Savannah Shutt, who we know can shoot from range, feeds it to left wing Ramirez. She has space. Maya Ramirez gets it onto her right. She curls the shot in. Oh, what a strike from Maya Ramirez. Rise lead 1-0 after just 1 minute and 15 seconds.
Barely 90 seconds into this, and already the Rise of Austin just very quick to strike. Something that's been missing over the last couple of home games that we've been a part of. It just hasn't been that quick. Get out in front, get a hot start Rise team that we've seen. It just been a little bit slower, a little bit more out of sync. Here tonight, not a problem. They come out firing right out of the gate.
Maya Ramirez, a veteran here of Austin Rise. She'll be heading to UT Dallas to play her college soccer this fall. What a beautiful strike. Huber got a hand to it, but that was not enough as she found the far corner to make it 1-0 to Rise. And now Rise back in their own end. Vaqueras looking to get on the front foot, but they've hardly had any possession here in the opening couple of minutes. Here's Jurgovich in the midfield for Millie Elwood. And Rise calmly passing in their own defensive end. Westwood got it to Elwood, who had a nice turn, and she's looking to play it long up right wing. Gianna Camuso is giving chase, but the flag has gone up from the assistant on the far side for offside. And if Vaqueras are going to try to play a high line, well, that's one strategic choice. They already trail by a goal to nil. Maya Ramirez's fine strike from about 15 yards out to the far corner, curling in, tipping off the hand of Addison Huber. And already it looks like a tactical change from the visitors. Looks like they're going to go with 3 at the back as Camuso heads it forward to Katie Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher tried to play it to her right, but it was picked up by Poole. And Fort Worth looking to break forward. A lot of bodies in midfield from Rise. And here's Cambry Patrick, the Texas Longhorn. Ahead to Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher trying to spray it to right wing. That's going to be a long run, though, for Elwood. Millie Elwood does get on top of it. She tries to chip it into the box, but only Vaquera bodies there. They're only able to clear it to midfield. And here come Rise again, looking to attack. Elwood down the line for Shutt. Trying to feed it up top towards Katie Gernsbacher, but it was intercepted by the visitors, who are struggling to get out of their own half here. Again, good tracking back from Ryan Jurgovich. Intercepted in midfield by Garcia. That Rise will reset, playing it all the way back to Liesl Tetmeyer outside of her box for Cambry Patrick. 4 minutes in and Rise lead. It took just 75 seconds for Maya Ramirez to strike as Patrick's pass goes behind her. And there's a throw right in front of our broadcast position to the visitors from Fort Worth. Head to toe in yellow, trimmed in navy. This is Virtue feeding it forward, looking for Westfall. And it's Dora Simi. Back for Maldonado. Now Pujol She was lingering on the ball. Gianna Camuso lifts it up over the defensive line, looking for Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher applying pressure in the press, nearly forced a turnover. It's cleared to left wing. Ryan Jurgovich with a strong challenge. Here's Millie Elwood. Now Jurgovich. In midfield, here's Kara Harris, the Mississippi State Bulldog. Looking for Ramirez, but stepping into the passing lane was Sharika Virtue for the visitors. She's been their best player in midfield so far in this opening 5 minutes, but Vaqueras really without much joy so far. It's been all Rise.
Yeah, it's the Rise team that we have come to know, where over the last, couple weeks it feels like they'd gotten away from who they are, from the standard they'd set, from the identity they'd created over the first early goings of the season. This is almost a return to form as any that we've seen from Austin Rise.
It's Kara Harris spraying it to the far side. Westwood. That first shot. Well, she was looking for Camuso, but that pass a bit heavy. But Kara Harris is there, playing the number 6 for Rise, as she does so effectively. Gernsbacher trying the nifty back heel. Pujol, the only one there for Vaqueras from Fort Worth. Now Elwood ahead for Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher looking for the run of shut. Nearly lifted it over the top, but Casey Storer was there to head it away. But now Gernsbacher running at the Fort Worth defense. She tries a shot from 16 yards, and on one hop, Addison Huber smothers. And she'll be happy to get a save in there, as she's been under some pressure in the opening 6 minutes, with Rise leading by a goal to nil. A good punt through midfield. Westwood rose for it, but it bounces all the way back to Liesl Tetmeyer, who plays out of her own box again and finds Savannah Shutt all alone in midfield. She has time to turn and pick out a pass. To her right, Elwood. Elwood looking for the run of Camuso, trying to split a couple of defenders, but that will run all the way in on to Huber, who was well off her line to collect. 7 minutes in, and Rise leading by a goal to nil. Jurgovich applying pressure on the far wing, and it is Westwood who feeds it back all the way to Liesl Tetmeyer. All of her touches have been outside of her own penalty box, and she has yet to use her hands. Here's Elwood. Up right wing, it's Jurgovich with a chance to stretch her legs. Bodies flooding towards the box, it's Camuso. Camuso cuts it towards the penalty spot. Ramirez trying to get there, but she's beaten to it by Kelsey Pujol, who clears into midfield for Fort Worth Vaqueras. Now Dorosini looking to feed it ahead for Larson, but the flag has gone up for offside. And I think there may have even been a foul called there by Stephanie McFarland ahead of it. But in the opening 8 minutes, it's been all Rise. And now I think they're going to want to keep applying the pressure, keep shooting.
Well, they've been able to come up with a few shots on goal, and officially it's only been a couple, but it certainly feels like they've had more opportunities for that at the very least. And right now, like I said, just all in control, Austin Rise.
Bit of a 3-4-3 formation, and off the free kick, it's Jurgovich, the first one there. She puts it in front. It's palmed away by Huber, but into a dangerous area. Camuso couldn't get there quite in time, as that ball was really ahead of the play. But now Gianna Maya Ramirez with a strong tackle. Oh, but a bit too strong, as she is whistled with a foul against her, even though she had the physical position to win the challenge. And it is a Fort Worth Vaqueras free kick. But off that cross attempt, boy, Huber got two hands to it, but it was right in front of her into a real dangerous area. Off the free, headed down in midfield by Dorosami. But it's Ryan Jurgovich who comes away with it for Rise. To her right, and Gabby Crishone. Ahead to Shutt. Good touch by Savannah Shutt. And she chips it to Jurgovich. Jurgovich is going to play it across to the top of the box. Oh, and there was a touch from Camuso, but she couldn't get it under control. The Vaqueras clear into midfield, but again, that's as far as it goes. Here's Kara Harris. For Gernsbacher, leaves it back to Harris. To right wing, it's Jurgovich. Towards Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher's going to let that one run. Plays it to Elwood, about 25 yards out. She'll try a shot, but that deflects. headed clear, but only as far as Katie Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher with some nifty footwork. To her right, it's Harris. Harris with room to shoot. She tries a long one, and it's a diving save by Huber, and she does well to hold on. But Rise have brought their shooting boots in the opening 10 minutes. Vaqueras are going to be content to play out of the back here, and Rise are going to apply some pressure with the press by the looks of it. And why not? They lead by a goal to nil. Here's Virtue. Vaqueras with not much space to operate in here out of their own end. It's Maldonado, and she took a shot from Harris and wins the free kick.
Certainly feels more aggressive from Rise here tonight. Certainly compared to what we've seen the last couple times we've been out here, just constantly on the attack. And not just that, even when it's not in their possession, attacking whoever has the ball. Very aggressive and physical play here tonight.
A free kick taken shortly by the visitors from Fort Worth. Lobbed into midfield over the head of Dorasami. And Kara Harris is there again. She has been very effective here in the opening 11 minutes for Rise. This is Westwood. Now fed up ahead for Camuso. Gianna Camuso looking to pick out a pass. Oh, she was looking for the run of Savannah Shutt, but she hit Katie Gernsbacher with the pass. But that's all right. Rise back on it with Elwood. She'll go back to Westwood. Westwood feeding it forward. Shutt. Now Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher with chance to run towards the corner of the box. She takes it wide. Has bodies coming into the box. Here's Shutt. About 10 yards out. Back heels it. Gernsbacher gets the cross in, but that's too close to Addison Huber, who is there to collect. But it's Rise flowing forward, getting bodies into the box, and putting Huber under pressure yet again. Punted into midfield, and it is a strong wind blowing at our broadcast position from the benches, and we saw that ball really just die in the air and fall short. We'll see if that has any effect throughout the game as far as any significant situations go. But again, Vaqueras struggling to get out of their own half, and it's Westwood who fed it forward, but out into touch for a Fort Worth Vaqueras throw, and they are going to make the first change of this match. And after 12 minutes, Genevieve Dorasami is going to leave the action. Only 3 on the bench for Sergio Berna's Vaqueras. All of them outfield players. Off the throw, it's Ramirez, the goal scorer, who gets on top of it. But its touch pass was intercepted by the visitors. Here's Logan Holloway looking to run at Lauren Westwood, but Westwood gets position, feeds it back to Liesl Tetmeyer, and her clearance up left wing. Oh, I thought it was going to be a good one, but it did just carry out into touch.
It's been the most involved that Tetmeyer's had to be tonight.
And this is the most attacking we've seen out of Fort Worth Vaqueras in 13 minutes of action. But it is Holloway who turns away. They feed it forward into the box, but a whistle has gone. Vaqueras had it in the back of the net, but Rise weren't playing. I believe it's a free kick to Fort Worth Vaqueras, as our referee Stephanie McFarland is rooted to a spot and waving the players over.
I was going to say, there was a whistle, and it seemed like an intent for stoppage, and I guess Vaqueras didn't hear it.
I certainly didn't.
We're just going to keep going, and everybody, Austin Rise has stopped looking around.
It's Sierra Padilla who's going to put this cross in by the looks of it. We have seen players shoot from this distance, though. And she does go for the shot. It takes a deflection, but wide of Tetmeyer. They hit the tall Gianna Camuso on the way through. And, maybe I shouldn't have been surprised by that shot. We've certainly seen the opposition shooting from that range this season.
Well, and be aggressive, right? If Rise is going to press the attack and be as aggressive that way, it's clearly a mantra of, if you're Fort Worth Vaqueras, are you going to match it or not? And it certainly seems the formula to success right now, for Vaqueras at least, is you have to match that aggressiveness. You have to match that intensity, the physicality, all of it. and it seems like they're starting to try and do that.
The opening corner of the match is theirs. It's headed away. And there was a foul in the box. And it will go the way of Austin Rise as Gabby Crishone was bundled over about 5 yards out. The substitute finally got a number for Fort Worth Vaqueras is Elena Lopez, the forward. And the visitors are going to press by the looks of it, with 2 lined up at the top of the 18-yard box. And this will change how Rise approach the goal kick. And it's Tetmeyer feeding it up the far side, looking for Jurgovic. That did take a bounce over her head. It's being shielded by Padilla, and it is Jurgovic who wins out. Got it to Shutt. Here's Savannah Shutt. Looking for runners. It's still Shutt. Trying to hit the byline. She puts in a cross that didn't get past the first player. And it's up the line for Virtue, who wins a throw for the visitors. 15 minutes and 40 seconds have gone by, and it's Rise who lead by a goal to nil on the Maya Ramirez strike, just 75 seconds in. Rise need at least a point from this match as it's knocked down in midfield. Here's Camuso. Gianna Camuso looking to feed it into the box, but that pass was intercepted. A few bodies in the way. And Vaqueras carry out of their own end with Sarika Virtue. But the pass in midfield is knocked away by Ramirez. And it's Kara Harris. Who else to clean up? Now Crishone. Or Westwood. Cambry Patrick, 3 at the back for Rise. Ramirez has dropped back into left back as needed defensively as Tetmeyer feeds it towards Westwood. Westwood just shut in the center circle. She has room to pick out her run. And she finds Gernsbacher, but stepping into the passing lane nicely was Alessandra Maldonado. And it's up left wing for the visitors looking for Lopez. She had a physical challenge from Elwood, but won the throw. Padilla. Up the wing for Lopez, who wins another throw. 17 minutes gone, and it's Rise leading by a goal to nil. On this beautiful Thursday evening. Wow, it feels like a Saturday. I almost forgot that I worked all day today. Here's Gernsbacher trying to chip it forward. But Fort Worth Vaqueras will have an opportunity to reset out of their own end and trying to chip one over the Rise midfield. There was Cambry Patrick, and the teams are going to just lob it back and forth. It was Storer that time. Now Kara Harris for Rise with her back to goal. And she does well to get it to Elwood, who wins a free kick. Well, this has certainly settled down the last 5 minutes or so after the blistering start from Austin Rise.
Yeah, everybody's cooled off, which is a little ironic considering how warm it is out here.
It's Westwood who will take the free just inside of her own half. She's got a great boot on her, looking for the runner Ramirez up left wing, but that's just a bit in front of her. Rise trying to be like the corner post route there. It is a goal kick to the visitors. And Addison Huber. Looks like Rise are going to set up their press. 8 outfield players on the bench for Michael Bates. He hasn't used any of them yet, and why not? The starting 11 have been pretty effective here tonight. Here's Brooklyn Westfall for Virtue. Into midfield. This is Westfall again, but she loses out. Now Harris. Looking to center, but that was not quite there for Jurgovic, but it's Elwood corralling the loose ball for Crishone. Gabby Crishone for Jurgovic, 2 of the Rise veterans. Jurgovic, looking for Camuso. That was just a toenail ahead of her. That would have been dangerous. It falls to Maldonado. Looking for Lopez in front of Austin Rise bench. And it is out for a throw to Rise with 19 minutes gone. And that wind is picking up. Here's Jurgovic feeding it down the line towards Gernsbacher. She used the wind. Here's Gernsbacher towards the front. And that is off the foot of Huber as she was looking to cross. But I think the ball had gone out over the goal line for a goal kick. But Jurgovic really using the wind there to keep that ball up in the air. I like it. Sharika Virtue with Ramirez marking her. Back for Westfall. Now Storer. Looking to feed in the midfield. Cambry Patrick stepped in front of Maldonado, but a little too much work with the arms. It's a free kick to the visitors.
It's a little tug of the jersey there and just kind of sets yourself up to be in this spot. You know, you talk about using the wind. It's one of the most underrated elements, the situational awareness that can make such a difference.
Lob towards Lopez, but stepping in the passing lane was Crishone. Here's Savannah Shutt for Rise. And I really do think that wind is just coming straight at us, like it's 50-50 for both teams. Here's Jurgovich with a run towards the corner of the box. Good stop, turn. Now Camuso. Camuso has 3 Vaqueras around her, and it's Storer who hoofs it in the midfield, only as far as Gabby Crishone for Elwood. Elwood was looking for the run of Jurgovich, but she hit Lopez with the pass. And let's see if Vaqueras can turn this into attack. They cannot. It's Kara Harris with a crunching tackle and another. Here's Kara Harris. She'll try the long shot, and that's just wide of the near post. Well, why not? She wins 2 tackles. Might as well have a crack.
You earn the right when you can do things like that, and in this spot, just unfortunately unable to connect, but you're forcing them to work really on the back end right now. And when you talk about the depth being in question for the Vaqueras, it's really going to start to become a factor later as this becomes a battle of attrition.
It looks like the visitors have made another change as they lob it up left wing out for a throw to Rise. 21 minutes gone. And we'll see if we have a hydration break here this evening. We have had one this season, and it is pretty warm out this evening, but it remains to be seen. Off the throw, it's Crishone going all the way home to Liesl Tetmeyer. And with a press coming from Bella Larson, it's turned over. Here's a shot for Vaqueras and a goal. They have equalized. Well, a turnover at the back, and Alessandra Maldonado has leveled the score.
Took the 22nd minute to do it, but they're able to even things back up. So it's almost like Austin Rise had this early surge, aggressive, attacking. Took their foot off the gas a little bit, and it's almost like Vaqueras sensing that started to pick up the pace of their own, able to take advantage of it there. And here we are, back to the drawing board, back to square one.
I was about to say that Liesl Tetmeyer has yet to use her hands this evening. But unfortunately they're playing out from the back. The error forced by Bella Larson, and it was Alessandra Maldonado with the finish. Here's Maya Ramirez as Rise look to get back on the front foot. Turned over, though, and here's Maldonado. She goes down under the tackle from Harris. Play on, says our referee Stephanie McFarland. Here's Lopez. Looking for the run of Larson, but it's picked up by Westwood and fed up the far side. Still down in the middle of the field is Maldonado as it goes out into touch, and she's going to need some attention by the looks of it as she went down under a crunching tackle from Kara Harris. And our referee, Stephanie McFarland, has whistled for a hydration break after 23 and a half minutes. It's 1-1. Maya Ramirez's strike, 75 seconds in, has just been matched by Alessandra Maldonado off of the turnover from the press. And that just goes to show you, David, the momentum has meant nothing. It can be tied up just that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to flip the script. And like we were talking about, difference between aggressive and passive a little bit here, right? Early on, Austin Rise, aggressive, attacking, working their way down, taking the attack, being the aggressors. Then here in the back half, I mean, in that, they scored fast, right? 90 seconds into this, not even. Since then, they've sort of petered out here a little bit. It's allowed Fort Worth Vaqueras to find their footing after this rocky start, weathered the storm, so to speak. Now they've rattled their way back and answered, and so now we've got a match ahead of us, right? It doesn't quite feel as lopsided as it did for the first 15 minutes. Now it feels a little bit more even keel. The question's going to be, especially with a potential injury here and a limited bench, how long will it feel that way, and how long can Vaqueras keep this up?
And it is their goal scorer, Alessandra Maldonado, who is receiving attention by the training staff. And that would be a huge loss for Sergio Berna's side, who's sitting third place in the WPSL's Lone Star Conference. They cannot catch either Rise or FC Dallas women, but they can sure put a wrench in to Rise's bid for a three-peat. Rise, though, just need a point, and it's 1-1 here at Palmer Field. And Maldonado, it looks to be in some pain as she is being helped off. She is on her feet, but not very comfortably so. Shots are 6-2 in favor of Rise. And as you mentioned, David, Rise really dominated the first 15 minutes of this match, led by the goal, 1-0. There was maybe one free kick opportunity for Fort Worth Vaqueras that was deflected wide, but really that was their first real opportunity, and it came from their press as Larson pounced on the turnover, got to Maldonado, who one-on-one with Liesl Tetmeyer was able to find the back of the goal to make it 1-1. 26 minutes on the clock now as we come out of the hydration break and Maldonado's injury. And, well, she looks to be moving a little bit better now as she makes it all the way to the bench. And we'll see if we see her again. And good sportsmanship from Kara Harris as she went over there to dap her up, give her a high five. Harris meant nothing by that tackle, but it was a cruncher from the Mississippi State Bulldog, who plays in defensive midfield for Michael Bates and Austin Rise, who have a throw on the far side. I do think it was Vaqueras who just put it out for the injury. And so this may just go straight back to the opposition as we resume play. Indeed it does. So good sportsmanship all around here this evening, which you always love to see. Up left wing, Lopez. Looking to feed it forward, has a runner in Iris Abshir, who is the third substitute for Fort Worth Vaqueras. She's got fresh legs, and it looks like she has a good burst of speed as it's headed down in midfield. Westwood. Back for her defensive partner, Cambry Patrick. In front of our broadcast position, here's Maya Ramirez, the Rise goal scorer. Patrick back for Westwood. And now Gabby Crishone on the far side. She has time to pick out Kara Harris in midfield. Harris with some nice dribbling and finds Elwood, but stepping up into the passing lane was Casey Storer, who hoofs it away as far as Gabby Crishone. Towards Jurgovic. She did well to knock it down and went off of Lopez. No, last touch by Jurgovic. And fed down the line. It's Westwood, the only one there. For Crishone. She tried to touch pass to Harris. Two Vaqueras there, though. And they pick it up and they'll look to run. Padilla to left wing. Looking to get a cross in. Around Crishone. Here comes the cross, but that's too close to Liesl Tetmeyer, who is grateful to snag it with her hands, and a good round of applause from a fine crowd here on hand at Palmer Field for the final league fixture of the season. Here's Elwood. Going back to Westwood. Possession has really been dominated by Austin Rise here this evening, but after 28 minutes and 28 seconds, it's a goal apiece. Kara Harris. Looking to feed it down the line. That's a great ball for Jurgovic. Can Jurgovic get there? She can. Here's Ryan Jurgovic. Looking to put it across. That's put out for a corner. This is only the second corner of the match and the first to Rise. What a ball that was from Millie Elwood to find the St. Ed's alum, Ryan Jurgovic. Gianna Camuso will put in the corner from the far side. Rise stacking bodies inside the 6-yard box, trying to crowd Addison Huber. And I like that policy. She has fumbled across already here this evening. Also, 3 more bodies lined up at the top of the box. Here comes the corner from Crishone towards the back post. That's over the head of Harris, but falls to Gernsbacher. Got it to Patrick. Cambry Patrick with a chance to run. She tries a long shot. That's right at Huber, but stings her palms. And she does collect. and roll it out. I love that the Rise have brought their shooting boots here this evening. Up left wing for Lopez. Chips it inside for Aspir, who was bundled over, Iris Abshir, and won a free kick in another dangerous position. With a half hour gone, it's 1-1 here at Palmer Field. Maya Ramirez's second-minute strike canceled out by Maldonado's 22nd minute goal. And it will be Sierra Padilla to put in the free kick. She has shot from similar range on the near side. Let's see if she goes for goal again. She chips it towards the back post, looking for a runner, but that was ahead of Genevieve Dorasami and out for a goal kick to Liesl Tetmeyer. And Rise are going to make some substitutions. And I do see Ari Hodge, the USA Youth International, among the substitutes, the youngest player on this squad. She is the first one to check in, and we'll see if we can get numbers on the others. Again, 8 outfield players on the bench for Michael Bates tonight. Looks like Sarah Asbeck on the far side. And right in front of us is Dylan Reed out of Park City, Utah. And she gets her first touch here at home for Elwood. Elwood finds Savannah Shutt. Now up the line it goes. Looking for Hodge. Here's Ari Hodge. Feeds it in with her left foot. Oh, and that was towards Dylan Reed, but she couldn't quite get it under control at the top of the penalty area.
Substitutions for you. Austin Rise FC in the 30th minute. Dylan Reed.
Headed out for a throw to Vaqueras.
And number 20, Ari Hodge.
That is Sarah Esbeck, who has come in to play at the right center back spot. Mostly been 3 at the back for Rise here this evening. They have gone into a back 4 as needed. Iris Abshir leaving the action. And this should be Marilee Contreras for the visitors. And the throw in for Westfall. But good pressure from Rise, and they force a throw. Good defending from Rise since the goal anyway. We've played 32 and a half minutes, and it's Ramirez with the throw right in front of our broadcast position in the shadows here at Palmer Field. Gernsbacher and Ramirez. Katie Gernsbacher. Her pass deflected, but Elwood is able to feed it back for Asbeck. Now Hodge. Hodge. Oh, splits 2 defenders. Here's Ari Hodge on her left. Gets the shot away. Oh, and that just skirts past the near post. What a run and what a shot. What a goal that would have been from Ari Hodge. But the substitute making an impact with her speed.
She's done that quite a few times. Whenever she comes in, it's like a spark plug, brings a different gear and a different set of skills when she takes the field for Austin Rise.
And that has brought the crowd into it here as well, as it's lobbed into touch by the visitors from Fort Worth. And taking the throw will be Blake Gilkey. And, well, it's good as a broadcaster to see Blake Gilkey. In my work with Vipe Live, I've covered her winning a state championship in volleyball for the Cedar Park Timberwolves, and also saw her throughout playoff action this spring for the Timberwolves as well, playing with Austin Rise here in the summer as a low cross comes in from Camuso, but nobody home for Rise, but falls to Hodge. She tries a long shot, but that knuckles wide of the goal and out for a goal kick. Our Vipe Live crew, happy you've decided to spend part of your Thursday evening with us, kicking off your 4th of July weekend in style. Rob Jaskula alongside David Roy. Our cameramen this evening, Merle Bertrand, Holden Hudson with Suna Venkat producing in the studio for us this evening. Thank you for joining us. We've played 34 minutes here at Palmer Field. And the visitors from Fort Worth making a substitution. before they take the goal kick again short. Up the line towards Lopez. She did well to get under control. Only as far as Westwood. Now Hodge. Dorasami put the tackle in, but it's out for a throw to Rise after 35 minutes. Gilkey to take it. Towards Shutt. Falls towards Hodge. Looking for Aspect, but doesn't quite fall to her. Now Storer for Westfall, her defensive partner. Feeding into midfield, Kara Harris is there. Chests it down nicely. In for Gernsbacher with her back to goal. Playing up top by herself tonight, and she loses out. But Harris gets back on top of it from the deflection from Patrick. She'll spray it out to right wing. Here's Ari Hodge. Hodge has already shown some electrifying runs. Let's see what she does here. Cuts it back, puts in a left-footed shot, and that is, again, just wide of the far post. But Ari Hodge not shy this evening. It's 1-1 after 36 minutes. And another goal kick to the visitors. Well, the substitutions have really changed things up here. I feel like Rise have really gotten back on the front foot the last 5 minutes or so.
Well, I mean, we're barely into the 36th minute here, but Austin Rise almost has double-digit shots on goal. And, I mean, we're still in the first half. I mean, that just speaks to how aggressive and on the attack this squad has been.
Lifted up by Vaqueras, and it's headed down nicely. Oh, there was a big challenge on Holloway. Holloway went down under the challenge of Westwood. The referee, Stephanie McFarland, had a good look at that. She didn't like what she saw as far as a foul went, but now it's Lopez, and she wins a free kick in a dangerous area. Hodge with the clumsy challenge. And this will be an opportunity about 10 yards up from the end line to put in a dangerous free kick for the visitors. And it looks like some pain on the far side as well. It looks like the downed Vaquera is going to need some attention from the training staff before we resume play. And the referee, Stephanie McFarland, having a word with Ari Hodge ahead of the free kick as well.
Going to have a few minutes of stoppage time added on to the end of this half.
Couple of goals, couple of injuries, absolutely.
You have to wonder if it's cramping. I mean, just with the heat, everything else going into it. I mean, I know normally you associate it, you think about, you know, fall football and everybody's still trying to get back into game shape. But, I mean, this late in the season under these conditions, and especially with this limited depth that Fort Worth has, you have to wonder if that's all it is. Seemed like they were stretching her out for a minute.
Maldonado, who went down injured, the goal scorer for Fort Worth Vaqueras, she has not returned to the bench. She needed to be helped off, but was under her own power towards the end of her walk. But this could really shorten up the bench for the visitors and Sergio Berna, their manager. A couple of changes for Rise. Looks like Wakana Ose is entering the fray. And a first home appearance for Carolina Reyna, the United States Youth International, whose brother Gio is playing with the United States at the World Cup. Got some action last night in the win over Bosnia and Herzegovina.
We won't talk about that too much and the controversy around that, okay?
Well, it was a good day for the Reyna family anyway.
I mean, no, it was a great day for the Reyna family. Great day for the U.S. men's national team. Won't talk about the red card. That was, you know, all the controversy.
The injured Vaquera is still down. We're holding off on identifying her. She does not have her number visible to us, but still appears to be in some pain. It will be a free kick to the visitors. Even the training staff from Rise helping out and contributing. Now up under her own power, but still in some pain, is Sierra Padilla. And she is the set piece taker for Fort Worth Vaqueras. So this is definitely a bit of a blow to them as far as this upcoming free kick goes. 40 minutes in, we are knotted at a goal apiece. But Fort Worth Vaqueras with a really good opportunity here. A free kick on the left wing side. They have bodies stacked at the back post. One at the top of the 6-yard area. And it looks like zonal marking from Rise, and they decide to go short. This is definitely a rehearsed routine. It's Contreras. Hodge got out to put a challenge in. And Rise booted away, clear into midfield, so nothing from that set-piece routine as Gernsbacher plays it down for Reyna. Reyna got a toe in and played it to Reed. Reed losing out. And Virtue plays it back to Storer. Virtue under the press of Ramirez. Maya Ramirez, the goal scorer for Rise, wins it back to Harris. She'll go home to Westwood. Across to Gilkey. Blake Gilkey in midfield. Got it to Harris. Scuffed her pass, and another Vaquera is down. Here's Wakana Osei, her first touch. Now Gilkey stepping up for Gernsbacher. Good pass. Gernsbacher has a runner. It's into Reyna. Reyna in the box, looking to square it for Gernsbacher. She shoots with her left, and the Rise have their goal back. Austin Rise lead 2-1 off the left foot of Katie Gernsbacher. It's 2-1. Well, Reyna with some really nice patience. Didn't like the angle she had for the shot. Picked her head up, looked back, saw the run of Gernsbacher, who fired home. An instant difference made by the substitute, Carolina Reyna. And the injured Vaquera being helped off is Elena Lopez. Boy, they're just down to 11 bodies now. This is their third injury of the first half. And we do hope that everybody is okay there. But Rise have their advantage back with just a couple of minutes left in the first half. And it's Katie Gernsbacher firing home with her left from 12 yards out off the pass of Carolina Reyna.
FC goal scored by number 99, Carolina Reyna.
Well, it's announced as Reyna, but it was Gernsbacher with the finish. In midfield, here's Westwood for Harris. Harris, though, had it taken off of her foot. Here's Dorasami looking to run at Gilkey. To left wing, Holloway. But she turns it over. Now Reyna. Up right wing for Hodge. The two USA Youth Internationals in the outfield for Rise. Hodge got it back to Reyna. Reyna, though, loses out to Storer. It falls back to Cambry Patrick, the Texas Longhorn, 43 minutes in, and Rise have their lead back. It's 2-1. Here's Gernsbacher. Again, Katie Gernsbacher for Harris. Kara Harris to her right now. It's Ari Hodge. Hodge has Osei. Couple of step overs, though, from Ari Hodge as she hits the byline, puts in a cross. That's put out for a corner. It'll be the second corner of the first half for Austin Rise. Late in the first half as they now look to stretch their lead. Ari Hodge to take it. She has really been electric on right wing since coming in about halfway through the first half. And the crowd getting behind Austin Rise here. Osei is at the near post. Gernsbacher 6 yards out. Everybody else is at the top of the box. Goes towards the near post, hits the side netting. Not quite what Hodge was looking for there. It's a goal kick. Rise lead 2-1. Katie Gernsbacher's 42nd minute goal. The difference right now. Goal kick taken short. Westfall up right wing for Virtue. Virtue into the middle of the park for Garcia, but Garcia loses out to Osei. Here's Wakana Osei for Gernsbacher, looking for the return pass, but stepping into the passing lane that time was Bella Larson, and it's ahead for Dorasami. To right wing. This is Virtue. Virtue got it to Dorasami, and we are into injury time here at the end of the first half, expecting several minutes of it. Reyna intercepts the pass and smartly plays it back to Patrick, who lobs it into midfield. Great touch by Gernsbacher. She's got the run of Hodge on right wing, and Ari Hodge gets on top of it. Here she is, Ari Hodge. Couple of step overs. Got onto her left, tried the shot, but that was blocked right in front of her. But it fell to Gernsbacher. Here's Katie Gernsbacher with some good patience. Tapped it back to Harris. Here's Kara Harris trying to chip it down the line, looking for Hodge. But Fort Worth Vaqueras read that one well. It's out for a throw to Rise. We've played a minute of injury time here at the end of the first half. Rise leading 2-1. Maya Ramirez will check out for the final couple of minutes here. Ahead of the throw for Rise. She opened the scoring just 75 seconds in with a thumping strike from the left side of the penalty box. That was canceled out by Maldonado's 22nd minute strike, but Katie Gernsbacher off the assist from Reyna has Rise back in front. We've played a minute and a half now of injury time at the end of the first half as Hodge heads it forward towards Gernsbacher. Trying to get it back for Osei, but it's headed out for a throw to the visitors, Fort Worth Vaqueras, who have really paid a physical price here this evening. Only 3 on the bench, and 3 have gone off with injuries in this first half, as Harris plays it back for Crashone. Now Osei chips it towards Hodge, but it falls back to Gilkey. 2 minutes gone here in added time. And stepping into the play is Westwood. She lifts it over the Fort Worth defense, but that was about 10 yards ahead of Ari Hodge. And out to play it is Addison Huber. As the wind is picked back up, she plays it to the far side. Abshir can't get it underneath her feet. And it's out for another throw to Rise, Gilkey, and Harris. Kara Harris stops on a dime, spins away from a challenge, looking for the run of Reed, but sliding in front of her is Addison Huber to smother. Played nearly 3 minutes now of stoppage time at the end of this first half. And on right wing, it's Virtue. Sharika Virtue gets away from Addie Tallis, the Central Arkansas commit. Lob forward by Vaqueras. It falls to Westwood, though, and she does well to clear it to her left. Not messing about there. Now Tallis. Back for Patrick. Now Westwood. Westwood lifts it up left wing, and that's just ahead of an outstretched toe from the visitors. Played up the line, and it falls to Dylan Reed. Reed has the run of Reyna. Decides to go inside to Gernsbacher. Now Gernsbacher for Osei. She taps it to left wing. Here's Reyna with space. Reyna with time. Chips it towards the near post, but that's just ahead of Osei. And into the hands of Addison Huber. Played nearly 4 minutes of added time here. As Huber throws it out to the near side, and Sharika Virtue with Tallis ahead of her. She gets the return pass. Does Sharika Virtue under the challenge of Reyna, who wins the throw with the final touch of the first half. And what an exciting first half it was. Took just 75 seconds for Maya Ramirez to put Rise in front. Maldonado's equalizer at 22 minutes was then bettered by Katie Gernsbacher's 42nd minute strike. And, well, we had a lot going on there in that first half, David.
Aggressive early attack from Austin Rise. It petered out. Fort Worth decides to pick up the pace, try to match that intensity. They were able to even things back up. A couple substitutions for Austin Rise seemed to re-swing that momentum, reset that momentum, that mentality. They go back on the attack, finish that half. By the way, 10 shots on goal just in the first half alone. That speaks to the aggressiveness, to the attacking mentality that Austin Rise has demonstrated here tonight. It's not the biggest story, though, and it should be, but it isn't, because the bigger story, unfortunately, is the depth for Fort Worth Vaqueras and the lack of a bench, or, the limited bench that they have. Only 3 depth players. 3 players go down in the first half. Will any of them be able to return? And maybe most especially Maldonado, who got that shot for Fort Worth in that first half of play. A lot to worry about if you're Fort Worth. A lot to feel good about if you're Austin Rise. Feels like a return to form from what we got used to in the win earlier in the season.
I'm seeing some smiles here from Austin Rise as they come off. A big one from Gabby Crachone, among others. So I think they're pretty happy with their first half performance. They are 45 minutes away from a three-peat here in the Lone Star Conference of the WPSL. We'll be back with second half action, and I do believe we're going to have some halftime entertainment from Emily May here at Austin Rise. Enjoy the show, folks. We'll be back with second half action in just a few minutes.
Charlotte. We have Charlotte, we have Renee, and we have Savannah, and we are going to do a dribble challenge. Are you ready for the dribble challenge? Okay, this is how it is going to work. You have these 4 cones, or 3 cones right here. You have these 3 cones, and so you're going to stand right here, and you're going to dribble the ball, and then you have to pick up the cone, and then you got to dribble. dribble here, pick up the cone, dribble around, and then run all the way back. All right, and whoever does it first is gonna win a prize.
Prize! What's the prize?
It's a t-shirt. It's an Austin Rice t-shirt.
No!
Okay, yes, what's your question? So you're gonna pick them up. You're gonna pick them up, okay? All right, let's get we need the balls. We need the balls, let's grab the balls. Oh. All right, no fighting, ladies. It's all about soccer here. All right, you're gonna start right here. Put that ball there. Oh, they're right there, actually.
Oh, what?
They're already there.
Oh, not yet. I can turn away.
Right there. Okay, you gotta stand there. All right, we're gonna do it on the count of 3, okay? 1. We're ready. 1, 3. Go! Come on, woo! Come back! Come back! All right, I think our winner is Rodney!
Yes, Monday!
Congratulations!
Thank you!
Congratulations, Charlotte. Good job. Congratulations, Savannah. All right, good job. You're going to pick up your prize at the merch stand. All right, congratulations. Oh, yeah, I'll take those. I'll take those. Good job, ladies. Good job. All right, we're going to reset. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right, we got Sophie here. And what's your name?
Becca.
Becca, are you going to play? I don't know what we're doing. All right, I'll explain it. We're going to do a crossbar challenge. And I need one more.
Emily May saying that we need one more contestant.
We got him.
Time contest, and we found them. We had to step it up.
Yeah, what's your name?
Abby.
Abby. We have Abby. We have Sophie.
Becca.
And Becca. All right, are you ready?
Crossbar challenge. You make it, you continue.
Oh, you just moved it. Oh, it was already set up that way. All right, you got to start over here. Right there. All right, you guys are going to start it here. Okay, so we're going to have, you have 3 tries. And then whoever makes it the first is going to move on to the next round. It's going to be elimination. And so then we'll narrow it down from there. But it gets more difficult. So if you get this one, you're going to go back a few more feet once you make it to the next round. All right. Becca, Sophie, Abby, are you ready? Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Anyone? You're going to go first? All right. Well, all right, so what you have to do is you have to hit the top of the crossbar.
Can we move the cone?
Yes. I know, you got one more try. One more, or 2 more tries.
Okay. Oh, I have to do all 3 first?
All 3 first.
Okay.
You get 3 tries.
Okay.
Oh, that was closer. That was closer. Let's hear it for Becca. Oh. All right, we have Sophie.
Alaska has like an oval rug with a future. But some of
Oh! That's okay. Good job. Good job. That was way high. Center it. Center it. You got it. You got it. Oh! That's okay. You're so close. Here, do it over here a little bit. Do it like over here. Do it over here. You're turning to the left. Go to the right. You got it. You got it. Oh! That was so great. That was so great. That was close. All right.
If you make it, you win it.
If you want, I don't know if it's gonna hurt. All right.
Mr. 3, we start all over again. See, no pressure.
Oh, sidebar.
Off the post, and not off the crossbar.
One more time. Let's go.
Smashes it right off the crossbar. And the second
Congratulations. All right. Congratulations. How does it feel? Amazing. How does that feel? You are our shoe-in. We just picked you the last minute. Are you excited to be here at Austin Rise?
Yeah.
How exciting. Are you loving the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys want to try it one more time? No? All right. So look at that. You scared them off. Well, enjoy the rest of the game, everyone. We're going to head into the second half of the game here. Enjoy the rest of our whole experience here at Palmer Field. Good job. Good job.
That's great. You're going to learn a lot.
So Supergirl, how was it? I like the bad. Like the writing, story.
No, like it was like remember like the first new Star Trek movie that came out when we were like high school? Yeah. Like the villains were like huge. It had no like real story. Like dog got taken and then like they're chasing this guy around who like I feel like she could have killed at any point in the entire movie. And then what's his name there? Weird and dumb. He just drove like a big rocket motorcycle.
That's the comic book character. But I heard him say like it is his dream role to play Lobo.
He kind of just he's got one shit. It's like brutish, like well, yeah, that's what he was. But it's funny because I really like the new Superman movie.
Look, Robert Pattinson's Batman. They should have just built that like more dark.
That was good.
Yeah. The new one's supposed to come out next year, maybe. And Clayface looks good. Did you see the trailer for Clayface? What's Clayface? Clayface is a Batman villain. So they're giving him his own movie. And he's got like.
So the actual villain will have a story.
Yeah.
Unlike
And
most.
it's supposed to be like a horror movie. It looks sick.
Okay. Yeah, I love him. I was so dubious when I saw him as the Batman, like when he was announced. You know.
I know. I was like, can he only play a bat for crying out loud? But the Joker movie was good. The first one. The second one was terrible. I thought what? But this like it's not like Odyssey comes out next week.
Oh yeah. I'll go if you want.
It's not impossible to take it.
I mean, for open.
Some of those problems. Of course, they say that, then we're going to set up in the new press box. And I'll have all the problems imaginable and belonging.
Look, here come the House Park.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll be back at House Park and be like, man, yeah, all these problems that I didn't used to have. And they'll be like, all right, can we set back up what we used to set up?
There's a ton at the 10 p.m. Lakeline on Thursday, on the 17th.
I'll be in.
Didn't they do that last year too? And it's like, why? Why would you do that? I texted Paul.
At 10 p.m. on the 16th. Hey, that's late. Get done. Yeah.
I can't imagine there being one who else doing it.
I
don't have to teach anybody else how I do my stuff here. So I sort of wanted to, like, I have a illustrator for you. You can be a real color analyst. I got you a illustrator. Yeah, well, so you can click on it and do the link through VMix, and it'll pull it up on the website, and so I can use the mouse pad and click and drag. It's not as pretty. It doesn't feel as smooth, but hot dang, it still works. It's the only time I've used it. I was like,
Back to the picture in their second half. Your Austin
Halftime at Palmer Field in Austin. Rob Jaskula, David Roy back with you. Austin Rise lead the Fort Worth Vaqueras by 2-1 after 45 minutes. Maya Ramirez's strike after 75 seconds gave Rise the lead. It was canceled out by Alessandra Maldonado in the 22nd minute as the visitors pounced on some poor passing at the back by Rise. But just before the stroke of halftime, 42nd minute, Arena crossed with her left to Katie Gernsbacher, who finished with her left from 12 yards out to give Rise the 1-goal lead back with 45 minutes to play. It is a beautiful evening here in Central Austin. The wind is blowing, as you may be able to hear, across the pitch from the benches towards us. And the question mark for the visitors from Fort Worth is, well, how many are they going to have on the bench available in the second half? They only turned up with 3 on the substitutes bench. They had 3 players go down with knocks in the opening 45 minutes. And I do see Alessandra Maldonado is still on the training table on the far side. So I am guessing that we are not going to see her come back as the teams are loosening up for second half play. And when we kicked off this afternoon, or this evening rather, 94 degrees, 34 and a half for our friends listening abroad. It has cooled down some, but it's still a hot summer evening.
Well, it's actually got it, you know, our weather usage had it 95 at kickoff, down a degree.
That's it.
To 94.
Okay.
It's come down in those 45 minutes. But it doesn't feel that bad, right? That wind is coming in. It actually feels much nicer. You got to think, too, as these shadows get longer and extend across the pitch here, starts to help bring that temperature down just a little bit as we get you set for the start of the second half.
And already about 3/4 of the pitch is covered in shadows as we prepare to start the second half of play. And what we talked about in the pregame show, David, really coming to fruition as Austin Rise utilizing the bench when the game had maybe gotten a little bit stale in the middle part of that first half. Went to the substitutes bench, and the real difference maker was Ari Hodge on right wing. She has been electric. And also credit to the other USA Youth International who is having a big effect on this game, Carolina Reyna, with an assist as well. Hodge's name not popped up on the score sheet just yet, but she's really making a difference in the margins.
Well, and they're playing the attack, right? And we talked about at the end of the first half, 10 shots on goal in that first half of play. What does that tell you? It tells you Austin Rise is being aggressive on the attack, not leaving anything to chance and keeping everything in the mid, across the midfield and into Fort Worth side of things. Well, what that does is it forces everybody from your backers to your goalkeeper to really just work that much harder. And with an already short bench, that starts to wear on you. That opens up the opportunity for mistakes that you can capitalize on in the second half. They set the table for that, not to mention some of the injuries that they've had to endure. We'll see if that comes to fruition as we get started.
Fort Worth Vaqueras kick off the second half. They are right to left, wearing yellow, trimmed in navy. Their keeper, Addison Huber, the Colorado State Ram, wears green with black shorts and blue socks. Peyton Urban has entered for Michael Bates and Austin Rise. That's a change that we have seen in every home match so far this season. The 2024 Ohio Valley Conference Keeper of the Year will be between the sticks for Rise in the second half, and looking to attack straight away from kickoff is Logan Holloway up left wing as she got around Westwood. Here's Holloway into the penalty area, looking to square the ball. It's a shot off the left, but saved by Peyton Urban, and Bella Larson didn't quite get all of that one.
Well, it's why you go to Peyton Urban. She's like, it's like in baseball, right? You get through the first half, you put out your starter in Tentmeyer, then you make the switch. You go to your closer, and you ask her to shut things down and lock it down. That's the way it's been throughout the season.
Just 20 seconds for Peyton Urban to get her hands involved in this match as it goes up left wing for Rise. This is Reyna, Carolina Reyna, turning back into her own end, and she chips it to Blake Gilkey. There she is. At right center back, ahead for Alexis Lawrence, getting her first action of the evening. Taps it back for Reyna. Reyna with some nice footwork in midfield, looking to drive forward now as she chips it ahead to Reed. Reed goes all the way home to Westwood. Now Blake Gilkey. Gilkey into Reyna, but Reyna couldn't quite corral the pass. It's hoofed away by the visitors deep into the defensive half for Rise. Peyton Urban well out of her goal. Places up the line to Gilkey. Nice touch by her. We're a minute and a half into the second half. Rise leading 2-1. And moving left to right across your dial here in the second half. Cambry Patrick fires it up left wing. Now centered towards Reed, but that is hoofed out by Casey Storer for the visitors. Far side, this is Cambry Patrick. Now Addie Tallis into midfield looking for Elwood, but she lost out, but Vaqueras just lob it deep down into the defensive half for Rise. And again, Peyton Urban out from her penalty area, and she plays it to Westwood. The visitors with the only shot of the second half so far. Here's Gilkey lifting it over the midfield, but that falls to Marilee Contreras. But under pressure from Reyna, Reyna wins a throw in an attacking position. Lawrence takes it quickly down the line for Reed. Dylan Reed with Contreras on her, and she'll win a free kick. Reed had a step, and all Contreras could do was just drag her down from behind. It's a free kick just a yard up from the end line in the 3rd minute of the second half. So this is effectively a corner with about 10 yards of advantage further towards goal. So Rise certainly with a corner routine here. It'll be taken by Savannah Shutt. She lifts it towards the near post, takes a bounce in the area, falls to Reed, and she'll go back to Cambry Patrick. Rise will reset. Patrick lifts a cross in, that hits a few bodies, it falls to Akana Osei. She hits the crossbar. Well, a gilt-edged chance, and it comes from some bodies flying around. Huber crashed into the back of one of her own defenders, and it's another Vaquera feeling the pain, and they can't really afford anybody else going off. It does look like at least one of their injured players is available on the bench. But, well, we're happy to see that able to continue is Marilee Contreras after the big collision with Huber. It was Wakana Osei hitting the crossbar, though. It was nearly 3-1 to Rise. The forward out of Fujimini, Japan, and the University of the Cumberlands. Looks like Contreras is going to head out. As is Westwood. Looks like we're going to play 10v10 here for the next minute or so, as it falls in midfield for Holloway. Now Westfall going back home to Garcia. And now Contreras and Westwood back out there. In midfield, this is Piper Garcia, looking to run now at the Rise defensive line. And she tried to feed it through that defensive line to Holloway, but the pass was too heavy. It's out for a goal kick. We've played 5 minutes of the second half. Austin Rise lead 2-1. Wakana Ose nearly made it 3, though, as she hit the crossbar from 10 yards out. Gilkey in the midfield for Millie Elwood. She'll go back to her countryman Westwood. Now up the far side, it's Cambry Patrick. Looks like 3 at the back for Rise here in the second half. Patrick dicing in the midfield, got it to Reyna. Reyna carrying to her right. Good head of speed as she looks to put a cross in early. It takes a deflection, but falls towards Alexis Lawrence. She can't quite get it under control, though. Vaqueras clearing the midfield, but only as far as Blake Gilkey. Gilkey to the right wing, Reyna. Reyna chips it around her defender, now looking to get a cross in towards the near post, takes a deflection, falls to the back post, it's cleared off the line by Piper Garcia, just out for a throw though. Rise looking to keep the momentum going, it's into Osei, corner of the box. Osei getting under control. She hits the byline, puts in a left-footed cross. That takes a deflection, but falls to Reed. She couldn't quite get the shot away. Vaqueras were able to scramble it into midfield, and looking to carry away is Holloway. She has a good head of steam. Elwood tracking back, puts a good challenge in. Oh, but the foul is whistled against Millie Elwood. Well, she didn't like it, but she doesn't have to like it. It's a foul. And, well, Rise putting the ball in some dangerous positions.
Well, they are just picking up where they left off in that first half. On the attack, aggressive, physical. All those things that we talked about that we haven't seen over the last couple matches that we've been here, they're doing it again. They're getting back to form, getting back to what we're used to seeing. Their identity, physical, aggressive, always on the attack, never on their heels.
Just ahead of the center circle, it's Piper Garcia to take the free. Bodies lined up at the top of the box for Vaqueras. It's headed away by Westwood as far as Reed. Reed can't get it away from Kelsey Pujol, though. But now Dylan Reed at the second effort does put the challenge in nicely. And in midfield, here's Elwood. Elwood has Holloway on her. That taps it back to Westwood. Now Gilkey. 7.5 minutes into the second half, and Rise still leading 2-1 as it's lifted over the top towards Arena, but cleared out by Contreras. Now here's Alexis Lawrence for Rise, but her ball down the line towards Arena was slicing always out for a throw to the visitors. Back into Holloway, but her touch was too heavy. Osei towards Reyna. Reyna with a good touch to Lawrence. Rise have good numbers if they hurry. Now Shutt. Savannah Shutt looking to get a shot away at the top of the box, but the tackle was put in by Kelsey Pujol. And it's ahead into midfield now for Bella Larson. Larson for Pujol. There's a bit of a drag back here from Elwood. She needs to be careful, and she is whistled for the foul. In a similar position to the last Fort Worth Vaquera free kick. We've played 8.5 minutes here in the second half. So 54th minute we are now in. And this is another free kick opportunity for the visitors to put one towards the top of Peyton Urban's area. She was called into action in the opening minute of the half. Wasn't a very hard shot, but it did test her hands. Again, Piper Garcia to take the free. She lifts it in again. That's over everybody's head, and it's Peyton Urban on one hop to collect. Good command of the box there by Peyton Urban as she rolls it out to Gilkey. For Westwood. She'll go home to her keeper, Peyton Urban, who is very good with her feet. As are most modern keepers. Reyna to the near side, Gilkey. And Rise happy to build their possession numbers here. The visitors with the thin bench made thinner by some knocks in the first half. Blake Gilkey. Now Lauren Westwood. In the midfield, Reyna couldn't find Lawrence, and it falls on the near side to Iris Abshir, who wins a free kick from the challenge of Blake Gilkey. Yeah, the pace really slowing down here.
Yeah, I mean, early on, much like in that first half, on the attack, very aggressive. Now you kind of reach this lull, and this is a point where Fort Worth was able to pick things up in the first half earlier, able to take advantage, even things back up.
Garcia's free kick is a good one. It lands just in front of the penalty spot. Peyton Urban's the only one there, though, and she's going to throw it out to Dylan Reed. Let's see if Rise can break here on the counter. She feeds it up left wing. And Addie Tallis tried to chip it forward. But now in midfield, here's Millie Elwood to Gilkey. Looking for Alexis Lawrence. She did a nice job shielding the ball and wins a throw just to the right of our broadcast position here at Palmer Field as we bring you the final league fixture here at home this season. But August 8th, Saturday, 7 p.m., Atletico Dallas will be visiting for an exhibition match. Be sure to come out. Great crowd on hand as usual here at Palmer Field, and we hope you'll join us. And if not, we'll be right here to bring you the action. Our Vipe Live crew happy to be with you. Rob Jaskula, David Roy, Murrow Bertrand, Holden Hudson, and Suna Venkat in the studio. Tallis takes the throw on the far side to Dylan Reed. It's just 5 yards of field position won by Rise. Ryan Jurgovich has started the second half on the bench, so no long throw from her. This is really where she would shine with the wind at her back, the wind coming at us from the bench area. And it's out for a goal kick to the visitors. We've played nearly 12 minutes of the second half, and just the one shot on goal from the visitors, one from Rise as well. Wakana Ose hitting the crossbar. Shots 11-4 in favor of Rise, and that kind of is indicative of the way the possession has gone here this evening. Rise have certainly enjoyed the bulk of it, but just the one goal advantage. Making it 3-1, I think, would be huge for Rise.
Give you a chance to coast if you're Austin Rise at that point a little bit.
Well, they can't afford to coast now as it falls in midfield to Dorasami, and she goes down under a challenge from Elwood, and Millie Elwood's going to be booked. The crowd don't like it, and she is protesting her case.
It's a yellow card percentage against Rise FC, number 27.
In the 58th minute, Elwood goes into the book, and it's a free kick in a dangerous position for Fort Worth Vaqueras, and, well, they're going to huddle and really get a look that they want here by the looks of it. Contreras and Garcia over it. Peyton Urban assembling her wall. Looks like she's going to have 5 in it. Garcia set to take it with her left. No, it's Contreras. She'll shoot, and that's right into the wall. Good defending from Rise. It falls out to Pujol. Plays it towards right wing. Now back for Kelsey Pujol. She's letting that one run to Dorasami, whose shot is right at Peyton Urban. And an easy save for the keeper. Rolled out now to Gilkey and Westwood. Westwood and Blake Gilkey out of their own end. And Gilkey, a bit too much dribbling there, but got it back to Westwood across to Cambry Patrick. And Rise now really not in a big hurry to leave their defensive half. Building possession from the back, and now Osei can't quite get on top of the pass. It's Patrick going back to Westwood. Possession numbers heavily in favor of Austin Rise here tonight. Gilkey into midfield it goes for Reyna. Carolina Reyna with a good turn as she gets past Contreras. Now with a head of steam, running at the back four. Reyna trying to chip it to her left and Reed, but that was deflected. And in the midfield it falls to Cambry Patrick, the Texas Longhorn, for Osei. Right side now, Lawrence back for Elwood, who has just gone into the referee Stephanie McFarland's book. Here's Wakana Osei for Shutt. Now this is more like it from Rise. Savannah Shutt to right wing. Lawrence trying to chase it down. She does just about keep it in and gets around her marker. She'll put a cross in low into the top of the box. It's Reyna. Reina looking to get a shot away with her left. It's over the bar. Well, the USA Youth International, Carolina Reina, doing a nice job getting away from defenders there, just finding that little bit of space to get the shot away, just a little too high.
10 shots on goal for Austin Rise in the first half. Only 2 so far into the 16th minute of this second half of play.
Over an hour in now, and a good tackle on the far side. It was a cruncher by Shutt, but it's cleared long by Vaqueras. Urban well out of her goal to play it, and that hit the referee, McFarland. And she'll blow the whistle and drop the ball. Well, an hour in, Rise lead 2-1. All the scoring in this match in the first half. Elwood back for Westwood. The two English players in this Rise 11. Ahead for Savannah Shutt. She does well to control that one, with Contreras had a handful of shirt there. Yeah, it does look like the whistle went for the foul. Taken quickly, here's Savannah Shutt turning. Reed taps it for Reina. Reina was looking for the run on the far side of Tallis. It's cleared by Fort Worth into midfield, and left alone up top is Bella Larson now. She gets it back for Kelsey Pujol. Her pass is too long. And Elwood taps it back for Blake Gilkey. Feeds it to midfield. Here's Alexis Lawrence right in front of our broadcast position. Her touch was too heavy. And it is out for a Vaqueras throw. And on this warm July evening, the pace has certainly slowed here in the second half as Lawrence gets on top of the loose ball in midfield, wins a throw for Rise. She takes it quickly into Reed with a back heel to Osei. Here's Wakana Osei, back for Dylan Reed. Reed on right wing, puts a cross in that hit the first defender. Ooh, it looked like that might have hit an arm, but no whistle. It's cleared up the line. Gilkey chests it forward. Lawrence heading it towards Osei. Oh, but she couldn't quite get the touch she wanted. And in midfield, it falls. But Reina gets a nice tackle in. Back for Patrick. Patrick has a charging Genevieve Dorasami on her, but it's into midfield for Millie Elwood. In the midfield, here's Reina. Reina chipping it down left wing. Or it's Shutt. Here's Savannah Shutt into the box. A step over with the left. A diving save from Huber. A rebound is loose. Contreras flails at it with her left, but does just enough to get it out. But now Rise starting to apply a bit of pressure. Throw taken quickly into Shutt. Savannah Shutt, who scored a great goal here against FC Dallas 12 days ago. Now Reina, with her back to goal, goes all the way back to the center circle. And Lauren Westwood. Now Gilkey, the rightmost of the three center halves, being played by Michael Bates in the second half. And she reads a bounce really well, does Blake Gilkey, trying to advance down the line, ran to a challenge. Westwood taps it down, Lawrence. Into midfield, here's Osei. She's trying to turn and face goal, instead goes back to Patrick. On this beautiful Thursday evening. Patrick down the line for Tallis. She feeds Shutt at the corner of the box. Here's Savannah Shutt into the penalty area. Looking to get her shot away. She goes down under a challenge. Our referee Stephanie McFarland took one look at that. Didn't even bother waving it off. Here's Elwood. Winning a free kick. Dorasami had a little too much shirt, taken quickly. Reed tries to chip it over the top, but it is hoofed away by Casey Storer for the visitors. Only one up top is Genevieve Dorasami, but she does well to get it under control. She's 1-on-3, but it is still Dorasami running at Cambry Patrick. Still Genevieve Dorasami with the left-footed shot, and a good save from Peyton Urban. A good individual effort there.
She's been called upon quite a bit here tonight in the second half in particular at least. But like I said earlier, it's like a good closer. Bring in Peyton Urban and let her just keep things locked down.
Right in front of our broadcast position, Alexis Lawrence was upended by a hip check from Brooklyn Westfall, the sturdy defender for the visitors. And it looks like Elena Lopez is going to be good to return for Fort Worth Vaqueras. 65 minutes gone, and it's Austin Rise who lead 2-1, 20 minutes into the second half. As the pace has slowed here in the second half. An attacking free kick will be taken by Lauren Westwood. Playing it on the ground towards the top of the area, but well read by the visitors. Headed down towards Lawrence, though. Now it'll be Contreras putting her left foot through it. And into the seating area, bounces back out, but a throw to Austin Rise with 66 minutes now on the clock. A point does it for Austin Rise as they hold the tiebreaker over FC Dallas. They would love to win it outright with all 3 points, though. As it stands, looking good for Michael Bates and Austin Rise. Contreras going back home under the press of Reed. Storer has to play it across to Westfall. They'll go all the way back home to Huber. Reed will press, though, and she does get it away into midfield as far as Abshir, but Abshir couldn't get it under control. And again, a throw for Rise, who have had the better of the last 5 minutes or so. Gilkey in for Elwood. Now Osei. Good touch from her. Elwood tried to play it to the front and shut, but that was intercepted by Contreras. And bouncing in midfield, Elwood got a toe to it. Again, it falls to Contreras. In the midfield for Dorasami. But she loses out to Reyna. Here's Reyna running at the defender. She tries a long shot. Oh, what a goal from Carolina Reyna. It's 3-1 Rise. The USA Youth International gets it done with a thumping shot from just outside the box. And she just had too much space.
Comes in the 68th minute, and it's in a spot where you have to feel like now, if you're Austin Rise, you can cruise a little bit. Everybody's been kind of cruising a little bit throughout the second half after that initial burst as everybody settled into a lull, maybe got a little complacent. Austin Rise sensed it, Reyna able to close. Now Austin Rise really in control of this one.
Throughout this second half, Carolina Reyna has done a really nice job finding the extra steps she needs to get her shot away. And that one, the best of the bunch, as she fires home to give Rise a 3-1 lead. And this crowd really coming to life as they can sense that another Lone Star Conference championship is just over 20 minutes away. Chipped forward towards Shutt in midfield. Contreras, the only one there for Vaqueras. And now Westfall. She loses out, though. Osei with the challenge. Here's Shutt. Ahead for Osei. Wakana Osei. Will she try the long shot? She does. It's 4-1 Rise. It's Wakana Osei. My, how a game can turn just like that.
2 goals, barely a minute apart. And Austin Rise in full control. And I got to think that it's in some part due to the lack of depth that Fort Worth Vaqueras has. I mean, I look at this squad, they look exhausted. Hands on hips, they all look absolutely drained.
I 100% agree with you on that. They brought a thin bench. They've had some knocks here this evening. And it looks like the visitors, they had 65 minutes of steam. Back-to-back goals from Reyna and Osei from just outside of the box. Addison Huber really had no chance to get to either one of them. Great strikes, both of them. But too much space for Rise attackers to run at the back line. And Rise punishing with some excellent long-range shooting. And now they want more as it's chipped ahead looking for Shutt on the through ball. But tracking back was Casey Storer that time for the visitors. And now Austin Rise can really start the party as Reyna plays it across for Gilkey.
Well, and now you're at a point, if you're Fort Worth, right, you would have just under, right about 20 minutes to try and generate 3 goals. That's not easy. And you're talking about, they've had 7 shots on goal so far this evening, but Austin Rise has picked up 15. They're closing in on 20 shots on goal. They're not taking their foot off the gas.
Lifted into the box. It's headed down by Reed towards Lawrence. She can't quite get the shot away as she was tied up with Iris Abshir. That should be a goal kick to the visitors. But now a 4-1 lead to Austin Rise as we hit the hydration break here in the second half. Goals in the 68th minute from Carolina Reyna, 69th minute from Wakana Ose. It's 4-1 Rise. And David, you really have to feel like they're in control, as you mentioned, with the fatigue factor.
Well,
And Vaqueras are already sealed into the third place finish here in the Lone Star Conference as well.
I was going to bring that up because it's worth revisiting for folks at home who may have missed it when we were talking about it in the first half. So you take a look at the standings. Here's where Austin Rise FC and FC Dallas Women, this is where they stack up coming into tonight. First and second, FC Dallas compared to Austin Rise. Well, after tonight, Austin Rise FC is going to be moving up, and Fort Worth will sit where they're at. So this is how it's important, because as it stands, Austin Rise FC will win the conference.
It's a difference of 1 point as it stands between these two teams. Rise only needed a draw this evening to win the Lone Star Conference based on tiebreakers in the WPSL. Of course, they wanted to do it with all 3 points and doing it in some style here tonight. 2 goals in each half, and Rise are in control.
And showing no signs of slowing down. I talked about earlier. You're up 2 goals. Now it feels like you can take your foot off the gas, maybe cruise a little bit, just because of the way this game has gone. This match is, played out, that it just feels like Fort Worth just doesn't have enough gas in the tank to answer again and keep pace. That was at 2 goals. Now you're talking about a 3-goal deficit that Fort Worth is going to have to try and overcome. It just really feels like Austin Rise, and it's been that way since the onset, in control. And it's what we talked about at the start, Rob, which is they controlled their own destiny coming into this, and they have owned every second of it since this match has started.
22 minutes in, Fort Worth Vaqueras were able to equalize at 1-1 through Alessandra Maldonado. But that goal really came from a misplayed pass defensively from Rise, a bit too much going on at the back end that they were able to pounce on. They have generated very little in attack, and with the short bench, with the heat, trailing by 3, how much do they really want to commit forward now, trailing 4-1? We shall see. Let's see what Rise have to offer in the final 16 minutes or so as the goal kick is taken short. Contreras hoofing it forward, just one up top again. For the visitors, it's Bella Larson, and a free kick won by Lauren Westwood. A good physical battle between those two, and it's Westwood who wins out.
Substitutions for Austin Rise FC. Now in number 17, Gianna.
It's the nice part about it, though, when you have a lead like this, you can really lean on your bench. Now, if you're Austin Rise, maybe get some ladies some playing time.
Well, and some real strong substitutions from Michael Bates as the cross comes in, hoofed away at the penalty spot by Contreras. Good touch forward, but Westwood steps in for the throw. He's able to bring back on Katie Kernsbacher and Gianna Camuso, 2 of the leading scorers, 2 of the veterans of this Rise club. Those are some dangerous players to be able to bring on with a 3-goal lead. And it looks like Iris Abshir is going to check out. This should be the return, I believe, of Holloway. And on the far side, this looks like Ryan Jurgovich has come back into the game for Rise. Now Blake Gilkey for Lauren Westwood. Back to Gilkey. And she'll go all the way home to Peyton Urban. her first touch in a while. And to the far side, it's Cambry Patrick. 75 minutes gone. Rise lead 4-1. Ahead for Gernsbacher. Good touch by her. There's Reina, who has a goal and an assist in her first home appearance of the season. Up the line, it's Jurgovic. Towards Camuso. Camuso with a heady veteran play. Now Lawrence trying to cross, but that was intercepted, and it's cleared long by Brooklyn Westfall. Good touch. Tap towards Holloway, but Gilkey steps into the passing lane. Her touch was too heavy, and Fort Worth Vaqueras are able to lob it down deep into the defensive end of Rise. That's just out for a throw. Here in the 76th minute, and it's a 4-1 lead to Austin Rise. 2 goals in each half, and goals just a minute apart here in the second half. Against the Fort Worth Vaqueras side that had only given up 8 goals all season coming into tonight, as Gernsbacher is bowled over by Marilee Contreras. That's a free kick to Rise. And like you were talking about, David, here come the substitutes, 5 of them being readied by Michael Bates.
Pretty heavy opportunity to lean on the bench, and some of these ladies get a chance to kind of come off and, catch their breath. You get some ladies maybe some more playing time, or, maybe some of their first playing time here tonight. I see Reina comes off, as does Lawrence.
And Gilkey went off as well. Ari Hodge has definitely returned for Rise. It is a free kick to Rise, about 2 yards into their own half. I think this is Ryan Jurgovic right in front of our broadcast position. It is. Looks like Kara Harris has returned to play in midfield as well, as it's played up the right wing side. Here's Ari Hodge, chipping it towards Osei. Falls to Gernsbacher. Katie Gernsbacher looking to get free. She has 2 marking her. Played it towards Osei. Intercepted by Fort Worth Vaqueras. And with all these substitutes, David, they're going to be hungry now for goals. They're not going to want to rest on their laurels. They weren't out here for the last 2. Everybody's going to want to get on the score sheet. Here's Cambry Patrick stepping forward. Trying to play it towards Hodge, but that cross was too close to the keeper, and it's shielded out for a goal kick. Sarah Asbeck is also returned for Rise. Gianna Camuso. And Maya Ramirez plays on the far side. That should just about be all 5 of them by my count. Kara Harris with a nice interception. Gets it under control, but her pass was wayward, intercepted by Elena Lopez. Now Westfall trying to chip it over the head of Hodge, but Ari Hodge read that well and tapped it back to Jurgovic, back to Hodge. Hodge has Gernsbacher, but decides to cut inside. Ooh, looking for Osei. Falls back to Hodge, and she's tripped up. This should be a free to Rise. A clumsy challenge from Marilee Contreras. In the 79th minute, Rise leading 4-1 and on track to win a 3rd straight conference championship here tonight. It'll be Katie Gernsbacher to take the free. 3 in the wall for Addison Huber, the Colorado State Ram, who has had a lot to do in goal tonight. 15 shots, as you mentioned, David, and I think 16 might be coming here. Gernsbacher, oh, she goes short. It's Harris trying the long shot, but it was well read by Westfall, and she got a toe in there to get a piece of that shot. It is a corner, though, to Rise. This will be their 3rd of the match. Only the 4th corner of this contest. That Rise lead, 4-1, now in the 80th minute. 2 at the near post. It's Osei hugging the near post. 6 yards out is Westwood. 4 more in the penalty area as the corner comes into the near post. It's cleared out by Storer. But Osei tapped it back. Cross coming in from Camuso. It's a low one, but stepping into the passing lane was Dorasami that time. All the bodies back for Vaqueras, and they win a throw deep in their defensive end. It's a 4-1 lead to Austin Rise. 2 goals in each half. And still a press being applied with the substitutions that just came in. Everybody's hungry, and the turnover is forced. Cross towards the top of the box. Contreras is the only one there. Takes her time getting under control, and left wing Lopez. Hodge tracking back well, though. Good hustle from Ari Hodge. Crossfield ball intercepted by Patrick. Osei chests it down well. And Rise will reset with Cambry Patrick, the Texas Longhorn. A beautiful left-footed pass up the line to Ramirez. She'll chase and get on top of it. Here's Maya Ramirez, who opened the scoring here tonight. Looking to get a cross in. Still trying to shake her defender, and she wins a corner. Well, Rise, 10 minutes left, David. They're still wanting more.
No sign of slowing down anytime soon, and I think they might be going for 20 shots on goal before the night is out.
The corner will be put in by Gernsbacher. This time it's a high one towards the post. Header down. Oh, didn't quite get all of it. But it falls to Hodge, top of the box. She's trying to get her shot away. That hit a body in front. Now a chance for Harris. And that's over the crossbar. I can't believe that wasn't touched. She thinks it was deflected. I thought so too. Well, it is a goal kick to Fort Worth Vaqueras. I don't think it's going to be material in the final result anyway. And the visitors are going to make another substitution. And it is Genevieve Dorasami who goes off, and got to shout her out. She did a lot of running. She was left up top by herself here in the second half. And she had to do a lot of chasing, and she did well. Contreras for Westfall. Deep in the 82nd minute, here's Lopez right in front of our broadcast position. Under pressure from Hodge. And she went home to Storer. It was Iris Abshir returning for the visitors. As Ramirez blocked a long pass attempt, it fell back to Storer. We've played 82 minutes. And the conference title is within Austin Rise's grasp. As Ramirez tries to split two defenders, goes down, no call. All the way back home to Huber. Now Storer. Trying to feed it up the line. Cambry Patrick read that one well to get her bounce on it. But in midfield, it falls to Abshir, but a sliding tackle from Lauren Westwood. Got it all the way ahead to Gernsbacher for Osei. Contreras stepped into that passing lane and puts it out for a throw. Well, with 7 minutes to go, plus stoppages, Austin Rise are in control. They have dominated this second half and lead 4-1. They've been the better team throughout tonight. Just the one goal from the defensive mistake that evened up the match for about 20 minutes. Otherwise, it's been all Rise. And still pressing are Michael Bates' charges. As Osei wins it in at the top of the box. Tap back to her from Hodge. Osei getting her shot away, and it's stopped at the near post by Huber. I think that was going wide, but she wanted to be safe about it. And it's another corner to Rise.
See if they can set this up, see if they'll take another shot at it. They're up to 18 shots on goal here, on total here tonight.
And Katie Gernsbacher in no hurry to stroll over to the corner to take this one. A fifth Rise corner of the night. Just one for Fort Worth, who are readying another substitution. Alessandra Maldonado, their goal scorer, had to leave with injury about 10 minutes after that, and their attack has never been the same since. As Gernsbacher readies, Dorasami is back for Vaqueras. And here's the corner from Gernsbacher, floating it towards the back post, looking for, oh, that was just out of reach of Sarah Asbeck. Oh, with 5.5 minutes left, Rise have one hand on the trophy. And the goal kick just played short to Storer. Good crossfield pass, Westfall. Hodge applying good pressure here. Nearly won it back from Lopez. Falls into midfield. Dorasami got it back to Lopez. Now Westfall. Stepping into the passing lane well was Cambry Patrick. And Harris directs traffic to the far side. Here's Ramirez with a chance to stretch her legs. Rise looking for a fifth. Here's Camuso. Chip back for Patrick, who's joining the play here. Man, looking to get a cross in. Camuso back for Gernsbacher. As Asbeck with time to pick out her pass to Harris. Kara Harris is going to try a long shot. Kara Harris makes it 5. A full handful for Austin Rise. As Kara Harris with a rocket from outside of the box puts an exclamation point on Austin Rise's 3rd straight Lone Star Conference Championship.
Just over the outstretched fingertips. What a shot from Kara Harris, and from distance, no less.
Kara Harris, who survived a 7-flip crash of her Jeep last fall to come back and play the entire spring season with the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and has been ever present for Michael Bates and Austin Rise this summer. A real inspirational story, a real trooper, Kara Harris. A dominating midfielder, plays in that number 6 defensive midfield spot, and gets a reward with a fine goal with a long shot there. It's 5-1 Rise with 3 minutes to play, and a whistle goes as the flag's gone up for offside against Fort Worth Vaqueras. And what a collection of goals we've had tonight. Long shots. Contreras heads it down ahead of Gernsbacher for Dorasami. Looking to feed it up ahead, but Asbeck stepped into that passing lane. Nice footwork from Genevieve Dorasami, though. Up the far side, Ramirez steps in. Gernsbacher played it to Osei. Her first touch was heavy, though. And Vaqueras are able to play it all the way back to their keeper, Addison Huber, who's had a tough night. She's faced 19 shots. Wouldn't be surprised if she faces another one here. Zari Hodge intercepts. She'll try the long shot. Oh, but she didn't get all of that one. And it curls wide. Well, why not have a pop there with the keeper off her line?
It brings the total up to 20 shots on goal on the night in total. So 10 in the first half, 10 here in the second, and maybe most impressively is the efficiency has gone up a little bit. I mean, Austin Rise hitting on 30% of their shots on goal here in the second half.
I love that. That's great. I'm glad you're doing the math and not me. A minute and a half to play of normal time as Sarah Asbeck intercepts in midfield. Now Jurgovich. She was looking for Osei. It fell back to her. And Rise will reset their attack with Westwood in midfield. Here's Ryan Jurgovich, the St. Ed's alum, for Kara Harris. Into Gernsbacher. Gernsbacher turns. A good tackle put in, but it falls just to Harris, who has scored the most recent Rise goal. She puts in a great left-footed ball. Here's Camuso in the box. She lays it off. Now looking for a shot that is blocked on its way to goal. Comes back towards Gianna Camuso. And Harris. Up top looking for Osei in the box, but she played it back to Camuso. She tries a right-footed cross. Hodge was running, but Contreras got her leg in there. Cleared, but only as far as Harris. Now Gernsbacher at the top of the D. She gets away from her marker. Still, Katie Gernsbacher. She leaves it for Hodge. Ari Hodge now looking for shooting space. Still Ari Hodge. Her left-footed shot is in the back of the net. What a goal from Ari Hodge. It's 6 for Austin Rise. What a show they are putting on for their home fans here at Palmer Field. Ari Hodge was a real difference maker in the first half when she came on. It said it didn't show up on the score sheet. Well, now she does.
Well, and it raises everything, right? I mean, that kind of shot brings your total up on the night. Coming in as a whole, they've hit on 28% of their shots on goal. And here in the second half alone, over 50% shooting efficiency for Austin Rise. You talk about how you win matches and being aggressive. Hitting 54% of their shots on goal have gone in and been tacked onto the scoreboard.
That's incredible math on the fly like that. Vaqueras looking to play it towards the Rise penalty area, but Jurgovic steps in and she just shields the ball out for what should be a goal kick to Peyton Urban. All three USA Youth Internationals for Austin Rise having a big effect here tonight. Liesl Tetmeyer was excellent as usual in goal. Carolina Reyna has come on and she has a goal and an assist and made a big difference. Ari Hodge is really electric on right wing and gets her reward with a fine left-footed goal. She is bundled over in midfield by Westfall, who wins the throw. Everybody's still playing hard out here. Very physical action right in front of our broadcast position. We're a minute in to stoppage time. Austin Rise are going to take the victory here tonight. They are going to win a third consecutive conference championship as it's lifted down the line on the far side for Dorasami. She tries to play it to Storer. That should be out for a goal kick. As the final whistle sounds, it's three, so sweet, a three-peat for Austin Rise as they take the Lone Star Conference in style. 6-1 winners at full time. That's the way they wanted to do it. A point would have been enough here tonight. They always wanted all three. They get all three. Rise will advance to the playoffs. And Fort Worth Vaqueras, who had only given up 8 goals on the season coming into tonight, ship 6, including 4 in a electric second half. What a win.
Oh, it's impressive. I mean, what Austin Rise did and what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, right? You talk about it and you look at the last couple of weeks here at Palmer Field has seen miscommunication, dysfunction, has seen disorganization, has everything that has gone wrong. Out of sorts, not quite getting the support from your teammates you need in crucial spots, people not quite in the right spot, to tonight where it's almost like flipping it on its head. Total team effort, front to back, and everybody has come together. Everybody in the spots you need them to be. Some maybe who you haven't expected. Ladies like Reyna have come to the forefront here tonight, and some names you are familiar with. Osei being one of them, and Hodge, of course, being another. It's just been a total team effort here tonight from start to finish, from the 0 minute all the way here to the 92nd, where it has seen the aggression, the attack. It's been all on display here. All gas, no brakes, essentially, here tonight for Austin Rise.
Especially in the second half as they outscore Fort Worth Vaqueras 4-0 in the second half. And, folks, for those of you who are interested in WPSL playoffs, you're going to be heading to Minneapolis the weekend of July 11th and 12th. That is where the regional playoffs will take place. The Final Four Nationals weekend will follow on the weekend of the 17th and 18th in Kansas City at the beautiful Riverside Stadium. Hopefully Rise will be involved in those playoffs. They will definitely be involved in Minneapolis in a week's time. 4 goals in the last 22 minutes of the second half. Reyna in the 68th minute. Osei a minute later. And a fine strike from Kara Harris in the 86th with the cherry on top from Ari Hodge in the 90th. What a performance by Austin Rise. Maya Ramirez and Katie Gernsbacher got the first half goals. 6 different goal scorers. That is some firepower. And I gotta feel like Austin Rise are heading in to the playoffs with a lot of momentum. a very competitive Lone Star Conference belongs to Austin Rise, conference champions for the third straight year. That's going to do it for us for our broadcast here tonight. Our Vipe Live crew really thanks you for spending part of your Thursday evening with us. What a gem it was. Merle Bertrand on camera, joined by Holden Hudson, David Roy on color, Suna Venkat producing in the studio. My name is Rob Jaskula. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and I know you enjoyed the outcome as Austin Rise take the Lone Star Conference in style, winners by 6-1. We are back here for the exhibition matchup against Atletico Dallas on Saturday, August 8th, 7 p.m. So if you didn't manage to make it out for any of the WPSL games this season, you do still have one more opportunity to join the fun as the crowd go home happy. We'll see you next time, everybody. Good night.